Make sure that your charges have given you your tickets, which you will need for entry. And the Chaldean Theatre, ladies and gentlemen, we were just talking up there about listed buildings. It's a grade 1 listed building, one of the most important buildings in Oxford, indeed in the country. It is the most magnificent building. It was one of Sir Christopher Wren's first commissions, and it was the first major classical building in Oxford, because Gothic was always thought to be the style suitable for scholarship. So it is a marvellous building, but it is also, ladies and gentlemen, I fear, one of the most damnably uncomfortable places to sit. So I would recommend there's a trade-off in your judgment between getting there fairly early and getting a seat with a back, but not having to sit in it for so long if you go on later. So I will leave it to you. Before the ceremony starts, you can contemplate the magnificent ceiling, which we have just had restored at the cost of £1.6 million, paid for by the Oxford University Press, marvellously, which is the only part of Oxford University which makes any money. I'm a curator of the Chaldean Theatre, and we have a structural survey done once a year. And this is wonderful ceiling without any visible means of support. We found, ladies and gentlemen, that it did not have any invisible means of support either, and was just about to come crashing down. It is more winded and magnificent, so you can contemplate that. And I hope that you have a lovely afternoon, guests, and that you will go away from here wanting to fight for the interests of Britain's universities, both of them. Oh, still awake, jolly good. Well, it's interesting, really, that you think of how old the ceremony is, and that's the only justification for the form in which it takes, which you might find somewhat controversial. We don't know when the Degree Day started, we don't know when the university started, although the first lectures here were in 1187, and I'm pleased to say they were in York, so there we are. Cambridge, of course, we know when Cambridge was founded because, well, we founded it. So, some food for thought. Candidates, on the other hand, I will attempt to take some responsibility for, and will invite you to repair to the old hall where we have drinks, where I will give you a rehearsal. And the rehearsal is there to make sure that nothing goes wrong, or rather, in a very English way, if it does go wrong, nobody notices. Please make sure, please do a quick check of your dress to see if you're dressed in the correct academic dress of your present status, and that in your Sheffield Woodward or similar bag, parked wherever it is in the college, you will have, at some point, clutched in your hot little hand, the academic dress and the degree to which you aspire, and which will be conferred upon you during the afternoon to the applause of the multitudes. And that's enough subclauses, I will finish the sentence. Also, looking at this menu, so we have tomato soup, and we have a red pepper sauce, and we have some kind of red sauce on the cheesecake. So any gentleman who still has a pristine white shirt front deserves great congratulations. Might I also ask, gentlemen, now we're on it, how many people, gentlemen, how many of you are wearing a clip-on white bow tie? My chief at Christchurch used to say that only cats wore clip-ons. If you learn to tie your own, you will be a gentleman thereafter.
Oh,
So, please return to the old hall and have a rehearsal. I must say it's a great pleasure to see you all here. My mind goes back, if you'll forgive a little piece of autobiography before we finish. When I took my doctorate, which was back in Christchurch, I know back in the 1830s, a long time ago, there was none of this. Guests were not invited. We were just given a glass of sherry in the lodging. The Dean of Degrees didn't address a single word to me. My parents weren't invited. We had none of this. And it seems to me, as I thought then, that things should be different. That it really is the parents, grandparents, family day, far more so than the candidates. And I resolved in that day, in an unlikely event, a better likely event that I would ever become a Dean of Degrees of an Oxford College, but it was not going to be like that. Because for parents, grandparents, family, this is a very special day. It's a culmination of what we're all here for in the college, as far as undergraduate teaching goes. It's also a culmination of quite a lot of effort from you as well as from the candidate, and very often a lot of psychological support and indeed financial sacrifice in order for this day to take place. So it gives me a particular pleasure to welcome the parents and the families, and as I say to you, I wish you, as I say, a very, very happy afternoon. The Vice-Chancellor will give a little address at the beginning, probably in English before the ceremony starts, those cribs so you will be able to follow what goes on. I hope. So it's been a great pleasure to meet you. Do have a lovely afternoon. And I think one more thing, certificates. We used to have to Brighton University offices for them. After the ceremony, please go to the lodge and collect your certificates, the degree of which has been with great happiness conferred this afternoon. And once again, I thank very much my colleagues